A little while since I threw a video up, but about 2 weeks ago I stumbled across a new tool for domaining for me that I wanted to review and demo and share here with everyone that's trying to do what I do, buy hand regs and flip them. So in the past, if you snagged up a good word, uh, keyword name, or even if you got it on a drop, the way I had been soliciting potential buyers for the name is I'd come into Google, drop the phrase here, and I'd just be clicking in the sites, and then I'd scour the site and go to their contact us and just compile a list of emails to hit up folks to see if they were interested. In this case, I own RV Wrap, so I was hitting up industries looking for RV Wrap. Well, I ended up coming across this tool, Email Extractor, and the website's emailextractorpro.com. They'll let you download it for free and you can use it. The limitation, and I'll remind you a little bit later about this, is that you just can't export it. So if you wanted to manually copy every email off here, you could, and by copy I mean you've got to type it out, or you just drop $45 to order the full licensing, which I ended up doing after I sampled it because this thing is amazing. So I just wanted to show you here how it works. The limitation, you can tell here I'm running on a Mac. I'm actually having to run Parallels. They don't have it for Mac, so you do need to have Windows somewhere in order to use it. And basically when you fire it up, it comes selected on some search engines that it'll take a look. So what I ended up doing is I went through and I selected Google US and Yahoo International, Bing International, and Dogpile. So those are basically all the ones that I search. And once you set that once, it stays that way. The other thing is it was looking at 100 results originally. I wanted to get 200. And so literally that's all you had to do to set it up. This is what happens when you install it, and then you start your search. And so historically, it used to take me about 45 minutes to get about 30 real good email addresses to solicit names for. What I've been doing now is I set this, I let it run, I come back a couple minutes later, either after I've played a little Call of Duty or watched a little TV, and I'll show you what I end up doing as far as scrubbing the list. But this process ends up taking only about 15 minutes, and I'm usually emailing somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 75 different email addresses / companies. So I think this is amazing. I've so far tried to solicit 4 names with this tool. The first one I actually got a company to reply. The other 3 have been a bust. I haven't heard from anyone yet, but that's kind of how this happens. It ebbs and flows. Every now and then you'll flip a name or 2 or 3, and then you're on a little bit of a dry spell. But I think this tool will make it a lot easier to hit up more potential targeted buyers in less time. And so I'm going to let this run, and I'll come back and show you what the results look like when it's finished. Done, you'll have a little pop-up here, so that's why you don't see it here. So these are basically, it's pretty simple. Account, the email address, what website it pulled it from, and what search engine it pulled it from. So you can see 247. But obviously a lot of these, as I kind of scrolled through, you can see there's some that I'm probably not going to want to email. So we'll get to that. What you end up doing is you click Save Emails. I believe if I had Excel on my Parallels window, I could click Excel and export to it, but I don't. I have Excel only on my Mac side. So I save it out to text. I choose, you'll probably want to choose at least email and source, and you'll see why in a bit, but I also choose search engine because I like to just know where it came from. And then you'll save it out as a text file. I'll typically call it based on the name that I'm looking to flip it for. Alright, and then once you're done, then you got to do a little bit of cleanup. So I end up going into Excel, file in Excel. So you go to where you save the file, the text file, you open it up. Because it's it's a text file. You'll need to, it's comma separated, so if you'll check the comma, that'll help Excel sort it in the columns for you. And here you go. Here's your rough email list, and I say rough because basically this extractor is going through and pulling all the different embedded emails on the website addresses that came up. So two right off the bat, I realize have nothing to do, just because I've seen these before and it's a .org. They have nothing to do, and they're not people that I want to target for RV wrap. So I'm going to delete them. Obviously, domain tech at Yahoo Inc. is not an email address of someone I want to. So you got to kind of use some common sense. I'm still figuring out exactly who I should and shouldn't email. What I've come across so far is email addresses that say bait in the name. So it'll say bait and a bunch of other numbers. I believe, and I haven't confirmed yet, but I believe those are email addresses that are embedded in websites specifically for spam bots to get and hit. And if they send email addresses to it, then they ding you as a spammer. So I've been deleting those because that's what I believe that is. I've read that's one of the traps of using this program is you'll pull embedded email addresses that are intended specifically to trap spammers. And so what I really am doing here and why I don't consider this spamming is I go through and I'm deleting, and again that takes a little bit of work, not nearly as much as the other way I used to do it, and also I'm getting about twice to three times the amount of email addresses to solicit names to. But why I don't really consider it truly spamming, I'm still targeting people that are in the industry that I'm soliciting this name specifically to, and if they shoot me an email back saying they're not interested, leave them alone. I won't ever hit them up again because, you know, there's so many names, so many niches, it's very unlikely I'll come back across them. Plus, I kind of maintain a list of those email addresses that folks tell me, you know, please leave me alone. I don't bother them again. So what you do is once you get this all cleaned out, then it's just a simple copy and paste, and you can either dump this list if you're using something like MailChimp to send your emails, or I simply do it in Outlook, and I send the solicitation email to myself, but I blind copy the whole email list. So in one fall swoop, I've emailed everyone that I want to solicit the name to. So that's email extractor. I'll put a link to the blog and a link to their website. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can, if you miss the web address, you can figure out where that's at. Awesome tool. I mean, like I said, you know, you'll probably end up, once you scrub a lot of this out, you definitely won't have 244 names. What I found is you end up somewhere in the 75 range or so. So that's still a lot of email addresses to hopefully drop a name on. Use it. Let me know what you think. If you've got any other tools or ideas or things you've learned, please share them on the comments. I'm always looking to learn and to share what I learned. So thanks a lot, and good luck domaining.